Okay, this is a video tour of my dorm here at Moscow State University, so you can get an idea of what it looks like. Right now I'm facing the main entrance door that leads out to the hallway. You can see the mail slot there, the fire evacuation plan. It's a fairly small room. This is the entrance to the suite, which is made up of a toilet, two rooms, separate rooms, and the shower and bathroom area. In this entry room, Eric and I put a refrigerator that we found. And it's a really nice refrigerator, works pretty well. Very old and not much room, but it keeps things nice and cold. And it's been very, very nice having it, so we didn't have to eat at the dining hall every day because it gets kind of tiring eating the same stuff there. It's nice to be able to cook for ourselves. In this room here that's closed right now is my roommate, Feng. He's from China, and he's going to be here for another 3 months or so. This is my room right here that's open. And coming off, like I said, there's 4 rooms. The first of them is the bathroom, which has the shower, the sink, mirror, place to hang towels and clothes. It's very small and narrow, but it's not too bad. For some reason, the water always runs. You can see the taps running here, and the shower water is running. I don't know why it does that. The water bill must be crazy. So that's the shower and bathroom. You notice there's no toilet there because the toilet in Russia, and it was like this in Ukraine also, I think it's fairly standard for Eastern Europeans. It has its own separate room. And you can see again it's a very small room. Very simple, tiny, almost like a tomb. Doesn't even have any handles or anything to hold on to. It's just a plain old toilet sitting in a tiny room. It takes a while to get used to, but yeah, it's alright. Not very sanitary, but what can you do? So here's my room. Come in, oops. Close the door. To point out where my mouse was. You can see this little hole right here in the corner. That's where the mouse, over the course of 2 or 3 nights, chewed a hole. He first started coming in under the door here, and he would come in, run over here, and start chewing a hole. And after a couple nights, he had managed to chew himself a hole. And from then on, he started coming in and out of the room right there. So I put a mouse trap here. And this is, I actually bought 2. This one I used to have out in the suite entry area. But I had one here, and after like 2 months, finally, a mouse showed up and got trapped on it. And it killed it. So after that happened, I moved this mouse trap here. I haven't seen any other mice since then. There's some stray cats that wander around on the floors below me. Like I've seen one on the 6th floor. So I have a feeling they probably get most of the mice, because I haven't heard of anyone else having mouse problems either. And you would think there would be in such an old building. But, so this is my room. I'm kind of in the beginning stages of packing because it's the 20th of December right now, and tomorrow night I'm going to get my plane. So my room isn't as straightened up as it normally would be. I used to have some posters on the wall here, but I took them down already. You can see I have my suitcase out. But here's the desk they give me. Very simple wooden desk, nothing special. Used where I sat and did homework. Wooden chair, again, very simple, not very comfortable either, straight backed. The desk just has one little drawer. I keep all my documents and papers. These are some of the souvenirs I bought. I went shopping today for souvenirs. I've been doing that the past week. The lamp came with the room too. I know it's not standard because Eric didn't have one in his room, so I was pretty lucky in terms of furnishings, I guess. It's a really nice lamp, but it gets really hot when you turn it on, so I only use it when I am doing homework. Here's the window. Very, very big window. You can kind of see the view I have outside. You can see the main tower there. I'm kind of like facing directly in towards the central tower of the building, so I don't have much of a view. I'll open it up, although it's cold out. I think it's about 18 degrees right now, which is why I have sodas sitting between these 2 window panes, because it keeps them extremely cold. It's like a built-in refrigerator. But so here's my view. Looking down, you see like a storage and work area, and all the way across there, that lit up tower you see is the far wing, kind of like, set up like a mirror. Symmetry, so that's the far wing, and the main central tower is right here, and you can see looking up, all lit up at night. Looks really nice. I'm on the 7th floor, so I'm not very high up. down there is the dining hall. You can kind of see the city out through there. In the very, very distance, you see a couple tall buildings lit up. That's really kind of the outskirts of Moscow. We're on the very, very edge of Moscow right now. But you can see in there, if I walk down through that forest and park, you see it's about a mile, and I'll hit a river, and on the other side of that river is where Moscow really begins, the center of the city. So it's within walking distance, but there's a metro nearby, which is much quicker and easier. It only takes about 10 or 15 minutes to get to the very center of the city via metro. Close this because it's so cold. Got the radiator here. It actually gets pretty warm. The past couple of nights I've been opening my window a crack because it gets so warm in here. The radiator gets extremely hot, which I guess is a good thing. Here's the dresser / again, kind of desk that they gave me. Down at the bottom I keep bags and pots and pans. Up here is where I usually will either eat or I'll lay out books when I'm doing homework. This thing folds up, and so if I want more space I can close it. I keep all my food here. I have pasta sauce, bread, pasta, salt, pepper, seasonings. This is where I keep all my books too. Again, up here I have more souvenirs that I bought. Here's 5 of the 7 Harry Potter books. I already have one of them at home. No, that's 6 books, I can't count. Anyway, here's the thing I got from Armavir. I don't know what it's saying. I can't hear it, it's too high-pitched. Up here, I used to keep a bunch of bags. You can still see I have a few there. Because a lot of stores here don't give you bags. You either have to buy them or do without. So I was buying bags, or I was keeping bags here so I wouldn't have to buy them when I went to the grocery store, for example. Here's my bed. It's kind of, not really a bed, it's kind of like a futon, except it doesn't fold out. So it's a little like sleeping on a sofa, I guess. It's basically just a couple of mattresses, fairly thin mattresses, as you can see. And they give you a thin pillow, very, very thin pillow. I generally fold it in half. And then they have a nice warm blanket, though, which is nice, a comforter. And there's a couple other blankets you can see underneath, a couple other sheets. But otherwise, it's just made of metal and wood. It's really not all that comfortable, but, you know, I slept on a futon worse than this for over a year, so I'm used to it. I've got my backpack. These are all the closets. Tons of closet space. You can see up here there's 2, which I never actually use. There's nothing in them. But here is where I keep my shirts and underwear and stuff like that. And in here is where I keep jacket and t-shirts and things. I had some stuff hanging up. I took them down. Usually keep my jacket hanging up. That's just about everything in the room, I think. You can see I have one of my lights burned out. It burned out like 2 months ago. I never bothered getting it replaced. It takes them forever to do it anyway. But I think that's just about everything. You can see it's a fairly simple dorm room, nothing special. But it was home for almost 4 months, and I liked it. So it was livable. So anyway, that's it. That's the tour. Give you an idea of what it looked like. I took pictures too, but I hope you enjoyed it.